stabilize the insurance markets by paying the subsidies under the Affordable Care Act that the administration stopped paying, for example. We're going to try to do something on the cost of prescription drugs, which obviously is a hugely important problem in our country, that we pay so much more for prescription drugs in America than folks pay in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in Germany, for the same drugs made by the same manufacturers. There's something not right about that, and we've got to try to do something about it. I think we will this year, at least in the House of Representatives. We've got a big bill that we've introduced. In fact, it's the first bill, H.R. 1, that we introduced that tries to address corruption in our country. All the dark money that tries to influence elections, where we don't know where it's even coming from. Some of it may be coming from overseas, like the Russians. At least we can try to get some transparency. Stronger ethics rules for members of Congress. We've already actually done some of that because we can do that on our own, even without the president's signature. And voting rights, making it easier for people to vote across this country. It was amazing in the midterm election, the one that we just had in November. In our district, it was, do you know what it was? 60%. Across America, it was the highest turnout in a midterm election since before World War I. Because people were so excited and energized on both sides to come out and vote. But in a lot of states, we're seeing efforts to try to make it harder for people to vote, to close polling stations early, especially in neighborhoods where whoever's in power thinks the other side is going to get more votes. That's just ridiculous. So we're trying to address that in that big piece of legislation. And we also want to do some sensible things to protect our kids in school from gun violence. And no one's going to be going after the Second Amendment, but most Americans, and I talk to gun owners all across this district, and they agree everyone should get a background check. Like, you know, we got to go to you want to drive a car, you got to go to the DMV and get a license, and at some point you get tested. It should be at least the same with gun ownership and people who have committed crimes, people who have been convicted of domestic abuse, people with severe mental health problems, maybe should not all be getting the ability to buy a lot of guns and ammunition. We've seen what has happened, particularly in schools, when we don't take care of that. And so that's going to be a bill that we pass in the House of Representatives, universal background check.